in one of the
And then,
Crusties.
and then one of those guys, then someone took over from there and took him on took him on a ride through the woods. All the snow
Yeah.
patrol and
I think we had like Phil Lawrence
police.
with us and a couple of funny other dudes.
No, I think that was a different time. But anyways, it was during the Gravity Games.
No, we had Phil Lawrence. You were there. I'm not. We were there for the motocross, Mammoth Motocross.
I raced it a couple times, Johnny.
Yeah, that's why we were there, and we had Phil with us.
Yeah, right.
And we had our buddies that had snowmobiles, and that's how you had the snowmobile.
Remember, Phil Lawrence got a bed taco. Whoa, we're in a fucking Twilight Zone right now.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yeah,
Yep.
We're ready.
All right, let's rock and roll the show. All righty. Here we go, gents. Make it happen, one and all.
Woo.
Today we have myself, John Freeman. I have my partner over here, Nicholson. And we have the famous Bubba with us. And we're going to give an honor to one of our great friends that we grew up with, Trigger Gumm. So we're going to honor him today on Crusty Demon's Vault of Chaos podcast. Awesome. Away we go.
Well, this is kind of Trigger Gumm 2. Last week we had some technical difficulties trying to get the Trig one off. So here we go with Trig 2. If you were watching the first one, we had a little bit of lockup, but we're back in action with Trigger, Bub, and John. And let's just go right into some footage. I'm sure, Johnny, you spent a week queuing up a couple things with Trig. Why don't we just fucking start right there? Cue something.
With Maestro, why don't we start off with something funny with Dana? We went on this thing that was called the Blue Torch Tour. And where was it, Dana? It was Utah, Canesville, correct?
Yeah, Canesville. Yeah,
Calamus, Hakatia. We went to all, yeah.
Yeah. Maestro, go to Crusty 1705.
Roger that. Let's make it happen right now.
Let's go, buddy.
Crusty 7. All right, rock and roll in 3, 2, and 1.
No breathing. A little full screen, Maestro.
Dana, I heard Maestro. What's up?
Can you make that full screen?
That's the fullest I can go.
That's good.
I mean, I can do this. Hey, real quick here. I can do this. I can do this.
Now you're showing your computer screen, dog.
There you go.
Is what I'm saying.
There you go. That's it.
It's a formatting. It's a formatting, buddy.
There you go. There's Trigger.
Okay, here it is. D, tell the story.
Trigger. Phone. Oh!
D, why are you on the back of the bike?
All right, we'll go back to that one.
All right.
Go back. Go
Maestro,
back. Yeah, we can go back.
Yeah.
Here you go, right here.
Yeah. D, why are you on the bike?
He stole his bike or something. What was the deal?
What's the deal right there, Dana?
He stole your bike or you stole his bike?
That one right there. It was a big ass hill climb out of Kansas. Yeah. And my bike's actually at the top of the hill because I tried to go up it and I did the famous loop out at the top of the mountain.
And you slid down it, huh?
Yeah, well, it's super steep, and so if I ain't gonna make it, I'm okay with just making that thing do a backflip off the top, at least get the bike up. And then I pretty much slid down the whole face of that thing. So I told Trig, I'm like, well, give me a ride up, Trig. So I jumped on the back with Trig and we tried to pull it doubles. And I don't know, we got pretty far. But then I stole his bike and took it to the top and got mine and rode back down.
And left Trigger just standing there.
Yeah. You left him standing there. That was funny, man. That was a good trip, man. Everyone that came on that trip and all the South County Brotherhood, all the different teams that we had. That Blue Torch tour was a good trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was
Good
really
film
right
trip.
there.
Right there, March.
Right
and
there.
we almost made it though, you
We
know what I mean?
almost made it, and Trigger got worked.
Your bike, yeah.
Yeah, no, those are the good times of like Trigger's one of those guys like when we would go to camp. I mean, that's a pretty good hill. But when
you guys
we would go,
almost made it.
Yeah. Trigger was always in for all the fun and all the antics. So that's one good thing about Trig. But that trip was pretty badass. That was a fucking cool place to go.
It was. And it hasn't been repeated since, man. That whole idea of everyone having a team and going to film and big posse of people going to Glamis and Dumont.
That's
Utah.
Carrie Hart right there.
Yeah, that was our team.
Yeah.
Carrie Hart, Seth, and Jason Thorne from Canada. Yeah.
Oh, Thorny. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and Link.
There's
and Link right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Link.
That was our team. We had
there. You guys are.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, right here. Okay, stop.
Tackled.
That was Link Ogle and Trigger taking down our buddy Cameron Steele.
Yep, Cameron.
Because Cameron Steele was like the announcer and the whole thing Cameron. To broadcast for television. And here he goes. They took him down.
Yeah. He pretty much produced that whole segment, and it hasn't been topped since. But I think
that's it. The takedown.
Yeah, was cool.
Lincoln Trigg.
Yeah, look at Cameron.
If you want to talk about trigger takedowns,
that was
there's some stories in there. If we want to go there, D.
There's all kinds of stories.
Bub, you were from South County. You hung out with those guys down in South County, so
I sure did, man. Back then when you go down, I was an outsider coming into South County. I was lucky to have permission to go hang out with those guys. All right, Trigger, Big Rocco, a couple other guys that were the regular South County crew. Scabbers, Mark Gabriel, Scabs, and
Scabs,
and, that whole diverse crew that they have. They're badass. South County is badass, and
there's
Trigger introduced me to everyone, and that was they're all family, and they will always be family. They're cool people. I just got off the line with a couple of them already, so they're pretty cool. South County was cool when Trigger brought me into that whole South County crew.
Yeah,
and Brian Manley. Yeah.
And that whole thing with Cameron Steele, he worked at Blue Torch, and he's the one that kind of put this whole tour together with all these teams. The way this
the footage that we're watching right now, Cameron put this whole thing together. Yeah.
Yep. Well, the thing was, everyone had a team, 4-man team. Everyone filmed their team, and then we turned in the footage, and people voted on it online. They voted on it, like who won that section, this, that, and the other. And we won it a couple times, man. So it was pretty cool. I think we won that section right there. But,
I think we won the whole thing with Larry Linkogle.
Yeah, that's right, Larry Linkogle.
I don't know why, but
he just got everyone to vote for us, too.
Can you pop that screen off now, Maestro?
Yeah. So, anyways, Trig was a big part of that. And he introduced me.
Stop that screen, Maestro. And
to a lot of those guys. So I smile when I think of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking.
I got other stories, bub.
Well,
too.
We talked about last week a little bit of South County, a little bit about how early in the day with Trig kind of, Herbie or Nathan Fletcher and Link Hogel and Deegan and them, the whole early stages of militia, that was kind of their whole little clique in South County, and they kind of mixed in that whole little clique, right, Bob?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. It was South County was a good part of our crew, and they were always down with us, and they always had our back. Period.
And just to go back on, our tribute here for the fans, we're talking about Trigger Gumm,
Yep.
and what a, unique person that came into our lives, and we came into his life to, go into films and this and that, and he loved it. And then he got into the bug of, I want to beat Evil Knievel. I want to jump farther than, Evil Knievel. And that was Trigger's, like, big goal, and Seth.
Yeah.
They both wanted to beat Evil Knievel's long distance record. So, Maestro, if we can go to let's go to Crusty Night of World Records 3913.
Yeah, that's Night of World Records was the first one we did in Ipswich, Australia.
And Bubba was there, Dana was there, I was there. It was a nail biter.
Queensland, Australia, Ipswich.
Yeah, that was a nail biter. We didn't know what's gonna happen.
No, that's the first one. That's the first kind of event
we pushed up a mountain,
did.
to land on. But man, if you stood at that ramp and looked at it, holy
Dude,
shit!
Trigger's ramp.
Saw the crowd down on the side, man.
It would Trigger when Trigger used to have his ramp set up. I think at Links or whatever. Dude, I walked up to try to walk up to the top of that thing. Dude, that thing is so sketchy. Just walking, like trying to get to the.
And imagine coming
it was
at
tall,
huh? Imagine coming at it at like 90 miles an hour.
No, I didn't even like walking up that thing at Links. I was like, this thing's fucked up. Couldn't imagine.
Sketchy. It was
gnarly.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
And the whole thing during this process was that Larry Linkhogel had a property at his dad's that had enough, dirt and footage that they could build this thing that Trigger wanted to do. Seth was going to be the guy that was going to break the distance, but he had an injury. Yeah. So Trigger got called in, and he needed another guy. And he trained Larry Linkhogel on Larry's dad's property, and they started getting comfortable with like 200 feet.
Is that your announcer guy in our way right now? The shot standing there on the screen? Is that your fucking, what's that guy's name? The announcer dude?
Yeah.
Gary, huh?
Gary Reed.
It's either Gary or Lurch.
Dude, maybe Lurch. I had a good Lurch.
No, not Lurch. That's Gary Reed. I can tell the gayness.
Hey, I just pulled that one out of my ass, bub. Just fucking, that's pretty good, huh?
Gary was a good guy, but he was an announcer.
Out of our way.
All right, let's get him out of the way.
Let's
roll.
Let's rock and roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Linkhogel!
Yeah, he yelled. Look at that crowd, guys.
It's definitely a big step in the right direction for the direction we want to take. Jumping
this
big gaps.
Queensland, your new long-distance record breaker!
Yep. Larry got it first.
So Larry kept the world record for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, look at that. This was big, dude. Big.
That was huge.
On the 250 too. Trigger was on
250.
Yeah. That's huge, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the world record.
That was the world record at that moment in time.
Yep, and how smooth was that? It was smooth.
Okay.
There's Sethro.
Kick up the volume.
He went the farthest and not stop until he goes that far, or, crashes trying or whatever.
Well, this will be history pretty much. I'm going to try to jump the motorcycle farther than anybody on the planet. If that ain't history, I don't know what is,
That laugh.
Moving the ramp back. Trigger decides it's time to go for broke. He pushes the ramp back a further 20 feet. If he lands, the record is his.
It's a calculated risk. It's still completely life-threatening, but,
Hey, Bub.
Getting all your homework together, and if
how nervous were you?
Fine, it should just basically,
Well, I was nervous for them, yeah.
Of course.
But on this jump, something goes horribly wrong. Consumed by nervous, Trig made his
run
run
up. Look at that ramp, guys. Look at it.
Look at that thing.
Oh my God. He's fifth gear wide.
Sheer terror, Trigger came within inches of
whatever.
He almost landed on the announcer.
Oh, God.
I almost hit him. I flew directly over the top of his head, and it was just a really close call.
It was at this moment that both men thought they were going to die.
That
was Lurch.
Yeah.
In the pandemonium that ensued, ambulance officers treated Steve Scott for shock, and Trigger's confidence was shattered.
Oh, what a bitch.
Nobody knew where I landed because everybody was scattering, kind of miscommunications.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, he almost landed on Lurch.
Officially,
but he pulled it.
The 500cc world record holder, 251 feet.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
And welcome back to Seth Enslow. Well, Seth, welcome back. How was it? Unfortunately, you're not jumping, but being there, two of your boys, new world records.
Hey, let's get a remeasure on Trigger's jump, because if he went 251, he actually tied the 500 record.
Oh, remember that? It was like a little drama. So he has to go again to beat the record. Now, that's fucking.
So I was really shaken up, and I go, Larry, all right, you got the record. I'm done. That was it. That was too close. Let's take off our gear and basically call it a night.
With 251 feet, Trig has equalled the world record, but is visibly shaken. He knows he is lucky to have his life. For now, it seems 260 feet is beyond us.
But he goes back up there. Look at him.
That's where we all got nervous, Bub. And
yeah, we got nervous because that was a sketchy one, man. And
it was like,
he knew it. He was scared.
Don't go again.
You've got to hit it again, because basically when everyone went running, nobody had an official mark of how far you went. And I'm all, man, dude, I just had a close call. And he goes, hey, you're never going to get this opportunity again. You've worked way too hard for it. And I kind of just snapped, and I go, you're right. He goes, go back out and hit it.
He has to go for one more jump.
So badass.
Trigger heads down the runway to risk his life one more time.
Man, I'm getting goosebumps, man.
I know, fucker.
And a tear in my eye.
I'm going to wish 2 months from now he did.
32, bub.
He just pinned it. Holy shit.
When he landed, oh my God.
He almost went over the bars.
Yeah. Pulled it.
I told him to step up and hit it.
That's gnarly.
I haven't gave the official measurement yet, but he definitely cleared 251. I think he might be close to 260. We'll have to wait and see.
Basically, had a really, really, really good flight. And
A good
super
flight.
hard impact on landing.
Look at that.
Right there.
They almost got over the
Holy
bars.
crap.
Look.
And basically
Gnarly.
just just pulled it. And it was beautiful. It was just surreal. I've been waiting so long to do something like this that it feels really good.
That impact could have been catastrophic, but somehow Trigg
Look at
held
the
on.
landing right
Now
here.
we wait and see if he has the record that he risked his life for.
The official word is about to come.
Went up to the approach and I went off the top and I was just flying. Absolutely flying.
There's
I
that
peered
ramp.
down at the spectators.
Yep.
They were so far down.
The new world record, 277 feet, 5 inches.
Gnarly.
Man, we had
277
quite a crowd there that night.
Smashing the
And
previous
we had
record, taking the
Guinness
sport of motorcycle distance
book
jumping into
there
a new era.
to
Truly phenomenal.
put that into the Guinness Book of World Records. So that's
Isn't that
pretty
Maestro?
cool.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I'm glad I was there
Yeah.
to live that with everyone. And
Yeah.
Gnarly.
that's why he's such a fucking legend, man.
Yeah, I mean, what do you
And you know, he invented that ramp.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's the ramp I was telling you, man. I walked up that thing in Lincoln. It's like it was
Hold
so
it.
freaking high, dude. Yeah, no,
Gentlemen, you know, I
Yeah.
apologize. You know, I have to ask a question. That's just so stunning. You know, as an amateur here, I apologize for cutting in, but that kind of landing, that hard landing, in your experience over all the years, how many times have you seen somebody save a landing like that? That to me, he should have been flipping that. He should have been flipping it.
He was over the bars and
Usually they don't.
Yeah.
Usually
someone put
they
him back
don't.
down.
it
to go
depends.
over.
It depends. Some people can bulldog shit, like a Mad
Yeah.
Mike Jones will bulldog shit. Trigger's
Yeah.
one of those guys that'll kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can bulldog it.
But the funny thing there,
big.
Dana,
No.
you mentioned Mad Mike. Mad Mike is like, he was there, and he goes,
No, I
"I
know.
am not fucking jumping that ramp.
It ain't. He didn't say the
Not
jump.
doing that.
It's not the jump. It's the landing. When you
Look at
land,
I know,
land
but he
anything
was
hard.
looking at that
He
ramp
pulled it.
going,
well, of course.
no way. No
There's only
way.
a couple people in the world that jump like that. It's not.
Hold it.
Listen, that's not motorcycle jumping.
There's like a handful, maybe like 3 people would even do that.
Well, look, like you said, that's Evil Knievel. He wanted to be Evil Knievel. He became Evil Knievel.
Yep,
And
he
so
did.
did Seth wanted to become Evil Knievel, and you
Yeah.
know, so did Robbie Madison. So, you know, that's not a sport of motorcycle jumping. It's a sport of motorcycle flying, pretty much. And
Yeah.
you know, to give tribute to those shows, you know, Bubba, you as a motorcycle rider and an athlete, I mean, you actually hit one of those long distance takeoff ramps, and you went pretty goddamn far. You know what I mean? You had the nuts to sack up and do that. There's Triggs.
Well,
in there.
Yeah, I
There
mean,
you go. Yeah, just freeze that. That
Well,
was
hit-
big.
hitting the ramp that size is something unnatural to a motocross rider. You know what I mean?
Well,
Dirt
like
bike rider.
like for Jason's comment, Bub, you landed that hard like Trigger did, and when you land going that big and that far, what does that impact do to you? Like what just happened?
Oh, I blew off the thing. I blew up. But the thing about me, was going so hot, fast and hard. It's not even. It's still 150 feet less than him. But I mean, I still caught the wind like a sail, and kind of got pushed off the bike because I didn't grip as much because I'm not a long distance jumper. I didn't know to hold squeeze in with my knees as much as you have to do on those distances. You know what I mean? It's a little different from riding a motocross track. You know what I mean? I
That's
didn't
kind of
know.
what I meant by the bulldog thing.
The
squeeze,
bulldog, yeah. Well,
you know, squeezing the knees and just
It spit you out, bub.
I got spit out, but I mean, what
You
Trigger?
came in back tire a little low, right? And then it
Yeah,
spit you.
I did, but
Yeah,
anyway.
but Bubba, I think Bub's suspension, it would be like me and Trigger trying to land right double. You know, fucking Bub had a little more momentum going, but
Pretty much.
yeah, all right, you can prove that one, Maestro. No,
Anyways, that was cool, and God bless Trig, man, because I'll never forget that night and what he did and what I
Yeah.
saw and what I saw, and the party the next 8 shows after that. Trust me, because we were right in the middle of a Crusty tour, so we played him
Yeah.
every night in the big screen before each of the Crusty shows, and he got to relive it every night. And man, we had a good time with him, and he was on tour with us.
oh yeah, there's this world record thing. Put that thing full screen for a second, Maestro.
And he was
Right, Bub? You broke up for a second, Bub. Or
I
was that
did,
just
That's
man.
right.
I did, man.
Maestro, if you can put up his world record that we got that night. Yeah, there you go. So for the fans out there, we had Guinness Book of World Records on the scene that day, and so they did the measurement and the whole thing. So it's in the record books that
Yep.
on that night he beat Evil Knievel and became the new Evil Knievel that night. Trigger Gumm.
Yep.
That was
World
good
record.
stuff, man. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
and Trigger went on to do a lot of those Evil Knievel days, and you know,
Yep,
doing,
I went with him on a couple
He
of
was
them.
good.
And that was
He was
cool.
really good friends with Evil Knievel.
yeah. I
Yep.
mean, he was just
After that point, Evil invited him to all his events and all that kind of stuff. So
I was there when he met him. I filmed it, and it was
yeah,
that was a awesome moment. God bless them all. Yeah.
yeah,
all right. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna one of my favoriteest things. I think it's kind of fucked up, but the
Imagine that.
yeah, I know. But the funniest, I think the funniest, not the fun, that's still fucked up. One of the memorable shots of Trigger was, I'm gonna tell the story because I just see it like it's
Go
so
for it,
clear
buddy.
every time. Trigger just got his fucking chopper and Seth and all these dudes after, you know.
I have it.
I know you do. I know you do. So
I have it queued up.
I know you. I know you do.
Tell
So
the story and then we'll play it.
yeah. So everybody's South County. Everybody's chopper guy. Everybody's got their whatever their fucking Harleys and their Jesse James shit. You know, and their fucking rap bikes. So Trigger pimps out this shit, pimps out a fucking chopper, pimps out a Harley.
After he did what we just saw, he just broke the world record. Comes home from Australia. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you know, like building any bike, you spend time to put love into it. So Trigger goes to pull out of his shop, his whatever,
His garage at his house.
garage, and on his street there was a car coming that was going slow, so he pulled out like you normally would. But behind that, some other fucker was jamming and tried to go around that car. So when the guy cut back in, Trigger had pulled out, so the guy cut back in and right into the back of Trigger and basically fucking blew his ass out. And it looked like Trigger was dead, but his eyes just opened up and he goes like, boom! And just punched the dude, just chipped ass,
Knocked
dude.
the guy out.
Yeah, dude, it
Yeah.
was fucking awesome. And it's like, that was the one thing I kind of regretted when Seth fucking tried to drown my ass. That when I was fucking
Punch him
laying
like
there,
that?
when he was laying, when I got out of the water and he got in my face, dude, I was gonna take the shot, but I was so exhausted. I'm like, fucking stupid fucking ass. Sorry, Seth.
You didn't
but
have the
that's
shot.
Yeah, you can show that.
I trust me, I had it in me, dude, but I just said, you know what I mean. But yeah, no, let's show that because that was like,
Maestro, if you can go to let's see, Chaotic Chronicles. It's go to 010630. Try that out.
Roger Dodger. Let's make it happen.
Man, you got a crazy format going on, Maestro, with your fucking computer.
This is something's gnarly.
The amount of time you're in the air is just pretty ridiculous.
I've gone 200 feet and I couldn't hold the bike level.
Once you fly a bike over,
Remember that one?
literally start
Yeah,
flying.
that's Travis breaking his
If
pelvis.
people started it, it'll never stop.
A wheel explode and the guy goes over the bars and you see his femur break and arms snap. And
There's
just
Sethro
catastrophic.
trying to go big.
There's one of your hard landings. That's called the blow off, right, bub?
Yeah, that's a buckle.
Yeah,
Another
here's a
buckle.
buckle. This is when you tell
But this is Sethro. This is
the
Seth
bike-
Enslow.
Yeah, Seth Enslow.
Yeah, so
That's what happens when you try to push the bike too far.
About the yardage, Tricks are for kids. Step it up. Fifth gear is where it's at.
Yeah, this is the wrong.
No, we're coming
one.
up. We're coming up on it.
That was funny. I did that shit.
See, that's
an overjump.
this is the beginning of Seth Enslow pushing the
Ryan
distance,
Capes.
and then Ryan Capes, God bless his soul,
Yeah.
came into the jumping game, and it was kind of Ryan Capes, Seth, and
Then Robbie.
and
Robbie.
No, and Trigger. Robbie came after.
I don't know
Yeah,
what happened to
Robbie
that
came
bike
on.
shot.
Robbie came after. Yeah. Here's Robbie jumping a 125 with a trick.
Yeah.
I remember he
That's
almost
that's
died
what it was. It was the world
he almost
record
died
because
the
he
day
threw a
before,
trick.
remember?
Yeah. That's a 125.
Yeah, 125.
Yeah. So, anyways,
we're coming up to it. Here's where it kind of leads into Seth Enslow is injured, and he wanted to break the distance. And he's like, I got my best friends here. Larry Linkogel. You can turn it up, Maestro.
Chicago and Trigger Gumm have been my buddies for a decade, and they're here to back me up, and I'm here to back them up, and you are going to see a world record.
look at that crowd, man.
Crusty,
The
is your
amount of
name?
time in the air is just pretty ridiculous. It's like you got a lot of time.
There's Larry. So Larry's going big, and he trained with Trigger for months ahead of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Trigger's on a 250.
Break the record or fail. There's two different plans. It's either a hospital or they built a bar over there where we're going to celebrate.
Out in the darkness by himself in the zone. A thin white line up the takeoff ramp.
Yeah, those ramps are gnarly. That's just gnarly.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there we go again. We're
And
seeing
he
that
held
same
it
thing.
on. Held it.
All right.
Okay. Keep the volume up.
Here we go.
Here's Trigger back home.
Come back up, I'll do really.
Oh!
Just
Watch the money shot.
Right here.
That's
That
Trigger
was the
actually
money
driving
shot
my
right
truck.
there. That's fucking funny.
That's Trig, man. I go from crying to laughing, man. That guy was, man, a
Yeah.
good dude.
D-Dog.
All right,
You
Maestro.
can, oh, D-Dog at
Yeah.
Pastrana's house.
Back
D.
up, Maestro.
Okay.
All right.
I
There
think
you
we're
go.
good.
Yeah, no, there you go. There's the chopper. That brand
That
new
was gnarly.
dude.
Brand new chopper.
And the guy goes over a double yellow line and
Boom! Trying to
nails
pass
him.
another guy. Takes Trigger out.
Yeah, that was so wrong.
Got ya.
All right. That was
You know
fun.
where that is, D? In my truck?
What's that?
That's at
I
Dumont
turn it
Dunes.
off, Maestro.
Yeah.
Yeah, break that
No.
off. The truck shot is with my truck at
Yeah, I know
Dumont Dunes. And that was Trigger. He said, yeah, I'll take your truck and just blast through that whole thing.
Oh,
Because it had the full river going through.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't, it's dry.
Yeah,
right
no,
there.
that was going into the dunes, the little mini creek going into the dunes.
Yeah, and it was full flow. And
It was
he's like,
always dry.
yeah, and Trigger said, hey, Free Dog, can I just take your truck and I'm just going to give it a full blast? Go for it. That was that shot.
Perfect.
Always Trigger was, coming up with, the craziest stuff like you and I do, what's the craziest shot that we can get? What's the new thing that we can have? And Trigger was always that guy. Larry was always that guy.
Well, Trig's an innovator. Trig's the guy that's fucking always getting in the mix of shit. But
oh yeah. And he had that little
shit eating grin, huh?
You got any more?
Like Free Dog, I got an idea. I'm like, what is it, Trig?
Oh, little bastard.
Anyways.
Well, here's to you, Trig.
Yeah, hats off to
We
Trig.
love you, Trig. Always.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you think? We're gonna wrap it up on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can wrap this up. I think, good tribute to our good friend Trigger Gumm.
Yeah.
He beat Evel Knievel's record that he always wanted to do. Lived quite a life in surfing, skating, snowboarding, motocross. I think motocross took him to another level. Beating Evel Knievel, that's
Well, definitely.
There's not many people that beat Evel Knievel.
No, Trig was definitely multi-talented. He's definitely made an impact in the action sports world. That's for sure.
Yes.
Touched a lot of people,
Well, God bless Trigger Gumm, and also I want to say God bless his wife and his kid as well. And the memory of Trigger lives on forever. I mean, period. With me, he made me cry.
Absolutely, man. All right, well, let's sign out. Love you, Trig. Love you, Bub. Johnny.
Love you.
All
you
you
guys.
fans, fucking put your subscribe button or whatever you're fucking supposed to do and all this stupid ass shit.
Yeah.
Little button.
Yeah, join our family.
Yeah.
Subscribe. We'll bring these kind of stories to you every week.
There you go. Yeah.
Next week we're gonna have an interesting thing. We're gonna hit up some people involved in the heavy metal group called Ministry.
Oh, sick.
Are we doing that next week?
Ministry into our movies, and you guys grew up with our movies and Ministry.
Yep.
Oh yeah, everybody.
Cool.
It's coming up next week, next Tuesday.
Did I mention?
Sounds like fun, everyone. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Everyone.
All right. Peace out.
God bless.
So.
Awesome, John. Thank you very much.